I'm gonna just wolf these down, man. So good. So, when in Rome, do as the Romans. When in a hip cafe, do as the hipsters and get avocado toast. Wow. Delicious. Mushroom, pepper. Welcome to Destination Eat Drink, the travel channel for foodies. I'm Brent Peterson, and we're on the banks of the Ebro River in Logrono, Spain. And just did a video last week about tapas on Calle del Laurel, and I thought we'd come back because there's so much more to see here in Logrono. And one of my favorite spots is right down here by the river. They've done just a magnificent job, the city has, of making this walkway for pedestrians. Lots of people going out for walks, bicyclists, people walking their dogs. And they've also made this into a nice nature area. They've got stork nests that they've built back here, or at least built the infrastructure for stork nests, and the storks built the nest themselves, of course. But we spent quite a long time just sitting here and watching the storks. They go out, they get some food, they bring them back. There's chicks in the nests. We couldn't really see them, but we could see the parents feeding them in the nests. So they've done a nice job of preserving this area. It's really quite beautiful and a great way to start our day here in Logrono. So our first stop on Calle de San Juan is No Solo Tapus. That's the actual name. It's No Solo Tapus. Not just tapas. So what did we get? Tapas. So the reason why I came here initially was I wanted to get this patatas barbaras. And that's because these are similar to patatas bravas that I've had dozens, hundreds of times in Spain. But when I saw this on the menu, on their menu online, I tried to look it up and I couldn't find anything from the Google machine as to what this is exactly. So I had to come in here, talk to the guy behind the bar, really, really nice guy, really cool. And he told me that what they do is they cut up the potatoes like this with the skin on. So it's like patatas bravas, but with the skin on, which isn't typical for patatas bravas. So anyway, nicely caramelized on the outside, looks really good. He put the dip on the side, which is nice. We got the tomato and the mayonnaise. Crispy, fluffy on the inside. I double dipped. Not too much salt, that's nice. Then we saw this on the bar, and immediately when I looked at this, I thought these are green cayennes. Because when we had our little hobby farm in Rhode Island, I used to grow cayenne peppers to make chili powder with. And before they would ripen fully in the fall to become that bright red color that you used to with cayennes, they were this color green, they were this exact shape, this is what they looked like. And so I said, are those hot? Are those hot? Are those really spicy? And he said, no, not spicy at all. I was a little bit skeptical. You know what? They are not spicy. They're just tasty. So, as you can see, we've already done some damage on this, and look how many. Because you can just pop them in your mouth. This place is great. And it's not just me saying that. These guys got Michelin recognition in 2024. So, you know it's a quality place. And I'm here to tell you, Michelin got it right. This is really good. I'm gonna just wolf these down, man. So good. Next stop is Bueno Bueno, and you can tell by the names here that the ones on this street are a little more playful than on Calle del Laurel. A little more experimental even maybe, where on Laurel maybe they're more traditional. It's not a hard and fast rule by any stretch, but I'd say, you know, that's just an observation that I've made. Lots of cool stuff to have in there. They're really nice, but I finally decided on the tomato and pepper on toast. Marinated red peppers. Roasted tomatoes. The oil soaking into the bread. That's mighty tasty. So you can see behind me, the street isn't very busy. And you may say, why is this such a great tapas place? There are not that many. We are here in the early afternoon. And it's a Sunday and it's also a holiday. So not as busy. But you come here any night of the week, it will literally be wall-to-wall people here. So this is kind of an aberration. If you want to get away from the people, come right when these places open, shortly after noon or 1 o'clock. But if you want to be in the real party scene with the crowd, come at night and you'll get plenty of that. This is Roots Cafe, and technically we're not on Calle San Juan. We're at the next block over, Travesa de San Juan. So I'm going to count it. It's in the neighborhood. This is kind of a hip coffee shop, cafe type place. They've got brunch items, and so when in Rome, do as the Romans. When in a hip cafe, do as the hipsters and get avocado toast. It looks delicious. Artisan bread. I think it's going to be good. Now, I could be a civilized person and cut this with a knife and fork, but I'm just going to chomp on it. Not skimpy on the avocado. Not too salty. Pepper, olive oil, perfect. It's a little chilly this morning, this afternoon. So I got some tea, and what I like about this place, it's not a tea bag. They actually steep actual chamomile flowers in this little basket. So kudos on that. This will warm us up. It'll be warm by this afternoon, but a little chilly today. Yeah, that'll do the trick. Good stuff. This is the Wine Museum of Logrono, and this is a museum that's housed in 2 separate buildings here, run by the tourism office, and they do a really nice job. On one side, they've got a little video and a few winemaking accessories, but the star is coming over to this side. On the first floor, they have a little exhibit about the Camino de Santiago, this is an important stop on that route to Compostela. And there's some winemaking equipment in there, but the star of the show is the basement, which is an actual 17th century bodega, a wine cellar with some equipment in it. There's lots of barrels. The thing I like the most is there's a bottle corker in there, and you know, it's 300-400 years old, however old it is, but it doesn't look all that different from the one that I used a couple decades ago when we grew our own grapes and made our own wine for ourselves. So it's really cool, and best of all, it's free. This is St. Bartholomew's Church, and it's locked up tight today, but don't really need to go inside. What you really want to know about this church is, first of all, it's one of the oldest ones in Logrono. dates to the 12th century, although most of this is much later. The most interesting thing about this church is what's behind me, the scenes of the porch. And there's several little porticos in there where you can see different little sculptures, some in better shape than others. So just to prove that it's not all about eating and drinking when we come to a new place, we look at artwork as well. And here's a fine example of it. This is Bar Tenesse, and this place is hopping today. We wanted to get a bocadillo, which is a traditional Spanish sandwich, usually made with serrano ham, can be made with other meats. But the reason why I wanted to get it here at Tenesse is because they make theirs with these mushrooms. Look at these beautiful mushrooms. This part of Spain is known for its mushroom cultivation, so there's a lot of places here that serve different types of mushrooms. And if you want to see more about mushrooms, check out my other video from Logrono. I try a couple different kinds of mushrooms. Wow. Delicious. Mushroom, pepper, and then tomatoes. A little tomato sauce. That is brilliant. You know, this region of Spain is in Rioja, which is the wine producing region of northern Spain. But we're right across the river from Basque country, which is where the cities of San Sebastian and Bilbao are, and we'll go there later. But what's interesting is Basque has a completely different culture. And they don't call tapas tapas in Basque country. They call it pincho, P-I-N-T-X-O-S. Here you can see that influence of Basque. Sometimes they call it tapa, sometimes they call it pincho, but they spell it P-I-N-C-H-O-S. So a little bit different, but a little bit of a nod to Basque culture. And also I've seen guys around here wearing berets. That's very Basque too. Anyway. This is really good. I'm glad we found this place because, boy, these mushrooms. Super tasty. That'll do it for our tapas crawl on Calle San Juan in Logrono. You know, we decided to base ourselves in Haro for this visit to Rioja in Spain. And I'm glad we did some day trips out of Haro. You know, Logrono was going to be just a one-day trip, go out in the morning, come back in the evening. But we liked it so much we decided to come back and do it for 2 days. And I think that was a good decision. I mean, you could really stay here in Logrono for a few days if you want, or at least one overnight, and have plenty to do. Not only is there the tapas crawl, but there's the river and there's some nice churches to see with some good artwork. So that's a positive. And I really like the green space. I like how the town has really done a job to make it inviting for folks. So I feel very welcome here. I love the green space, and Logrono gets a big thumbs up from me. My name's Brent Peterson. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. You can also support me at buymeacoffee.com/destinationeatdrink, and I'll see you down the road.
Cuidado que no se te caigan, ¿eh? Mira, igual me cobra ya. Cuidado que no se te caigan, ¿eh?